Happy National Marquette Day, everybody. This is always a really important day for Marquette, for our program, for our guys. And it's just great to celebrate our university basketball program. The crowd was awesome. Students were awesome. And so happy for Coach Crane. It was emotional being with him last night at the reception we had. He changed this program forever. The way that the arena felt today in terms of our spirit and the crowd, the fans, the energy, that's a direct testament to what he built. And I'm so excited that every game moving forward, I'll be able to look up in the rafters and see his name. I also want to recognize Peter Fagan. So grateful for everything that he's done for our team, for our program, for Marquette. It was great to have him in the building. And then, of course, we're still undefeated with Dwayne Wade, so we got to find a way to get on his schedule more often. He just brings this unbelievable spirit and energy to our team. Having him around just makes everything feel better.
You've talked about Adrian being the kind of shooter you can run set plays for. You had some of those today, plus he had some in the flow too. Like, how have you seen his confidence in his shot increase recently?
Well, he really works at it. He works very, very hard at his shooting. I thought he played great all around. I told him going into the game in front of the team. Sometimes I like to message these guys in front of the team because they understand the power in that I wanted him to get 10 three-point shots up. He didn't quite get 10, but he was close. We ran a lot of actions for him. Guys did a good job finding him. I think we can continue to improve, really, really locating him, locating Michael Phillips, locating our best shooters when they're open, in transition, off of broken plays, off of offensive rebounds. Because obviously, it's a real difference maker when he's shooting it like that.
Shaka, you had 14 threes tonight as a team, and you shot 38% as a team over the last 5 games. What do you like about the growth you've seen from this Marquette team?
I think our guys are shooting more whole shots and less half shots. And what I mean by that is sometimes you shoot not to miss, and sometimes you shoot to make the shot. And I think our guys are doing a better job shooting the ball to make it. I think also, testament to all of our guys, and particularly our guards, for creating pretty high-quality outside shots. It's easier to shoot a high percentage when the shots are wide open. But more than anything, it's shooting the ball with approach goals instead of avoidance goals.
Coach, as a VCU alum, I'm very aware of the ball pressure your teams can provide, but kind of your forced 16 turnovers to them, kind of defensively, what was working for y'all to force those turnovers?
Thought our guys did a good job getting their hands on the basketball. We had 40 deflections. Anytime we're over 32, it gives us a great chance to win. But the difference between today and the last time out against Butler was we actually got our hands on the ball a lot in that game, but we didn't recover the ball. We were deflecting it, and then it ended up some of them were unlucky, but some of them, they were just quicker to the ball. So I thought today, for the most part, our guys did a good job flying around and finding the ball when we got our hands on it. Ajayi's a really good player, so the ability to make him go 3 for 15 was big. Between him and Bizjack, if those guys both have big days, then those guys are hard to beat, Butler. But if you can make one of them or two of them very, very inefficient, it just really improves your chances.
You talked about Coach Crane and what he means to this program. You guys are now, out of your last 5 games at home, have won 4 of them. His message, I think, really resonated with everybody that Marquette will never fall behind anyone in this country. What is kind of your message to the fans who definitely were frustrated in the beginning of the season, how it started, and now the way you guys are playing, and just how you can kind of grow not only for the rest of this season towards the Big East tournament, but also going into next season? Yeah,
we really value growth, and you can't always diagram exactly how a team is going to play out, or even over the course of several years. But I do believe, to your point, our guys have found a much better ability to play for one another. We're getting better in a lot of different basketball areas, defensively and offensively. We still have a long way to go, but we're getting better. And then, you can go down the roster. We have a lot of young guys that are getting valuable experience that with that experience, you just see their confidence going up. Not all the way where we need to be yet, but Royce Parham, Adrian Stevens, Nigel James Jr., even some of the guys not playing quite as much, those guys are unrecognizable compared to where they were at the beginning of November. That doesn't mean that we're the best team around, but it means that we're moving in the right direction. It makes us more dangerous to win on any given day. And I think if we can keep building with that group and keep getting stronger and tougher and more aware and more connected, then we have a chance to do special things down the road.
How do you get the players to relax on National Marquette Day and not tense up?
That's a really good question. It's a great point, and that's an area where we've struggled, to be honest with you. We've had some National Marquette Day games that we've just been really stressed out. Because, again, think about this. The guys want to win at a 10 level on a scale of 1 to 10 every time we play. That doesn't mean that, we win, or that doesn't mean that necessarily they play great, but they want to. Then, especially this week, we had a bye. If everyone tells them, hey, this game's really more important than every other game we've played, we really need to win, we need to win, we need to win, it just mentally it's like, okay, well, how do I go higher than a 10? Our theme for this game was poise and aggression. We felt like if we played with good poise and, we were in the moment and then we played aggressively, we could do well. I thought there was that lull there right before the last round of the first half where our spirit went down. I told the guys, hey, when your spirit's low, the ball's less likely to go in for you. So we have to own what's required in that. And then I said, energy reciprocates, man. If our energy's where it needs to be, the crowd will reciprocate that. I thought we did a great job ending the half. The way that we ended the half helped us in the second half. And then the way the guys started the second half was a real improvement from some previous games when we've had a lead at halftime and then kind of given it away in the first few minutes of the second half.
Chase has gone through some struggles this year, but how good was it for you to see him break loose today?
Well, I'm just happy for him on his birthday. He's been through a lot. He's very hard on himself. He's a really good player. He's a guy that he's contributed to a lot of winning here. He's been part of some special teams this year, being the guy that I think was counted on early on to be the leader and be in charge of everyone. That was a lot for him. But I do think in our last half a dozen games, he's settled into a role on our team where he can be aggressive, he can be the defensive playmaker that he is, he can hunt great shots, he can play off some of our other guys, play connected basketball with NJ, with Adrian, and I think he's playing better. So I'm just happy for him. It's his birthday. Man, he puts a lot of pressure on himself, so I'm just glad for him that he can feel like, he gave everyone what they wanted today.
So coming out of that timeout there in the first half with like 3 minutes to go in the half, what did you say to your team?
I told the guys we got to lift our spirit up. We got to get back to giving each other energy. I thought that on the offensive end, the ball was sticking too much. We weren't moving the ball enough. And I thought that, not that guys were playing for the wrong intentions, but we needed to recommit to ball movement and getting a Marquette team score, on the offensive end. That's the goal. And I thought they did a much better job after that.
Do you have an update on Sean Jones?
Not really. I mean, he's still dealing with turf toe. He's a ways away. He's not practiced yet. He's not even done, skill stuff really yet. I mean, he can do some stationary stuff and shooting, but he's not really moving around yet. So, obviously we're into February now. I think our last regular season game is 4 weeks from today. So, I don't know for sure if and when he'll be back. He's working hard at the rehab process. And I feel for the guy. He's been through so much, a lot of different injuries. Right now, my biggest emphasis with him is, trying to get to a point of acceptance with where things are right now, and doing everything he can to try to, give himself grace, take care of his body, take care of his mind, because there will be a day that he plays again. It's just a matter of when. And the more that he can, be present, to be with his teammates, work on his body, work on his healing, the faster he will heal.
That freshman backcourt with NJ and Adrian, what do you like about the way their games complement each other?
Well, I think, Ben, we have a long way to go to get to like the best version of those guys together. But I think as freshmen, you see them getting better and better. I mean, if you put their combined statistics, whether it's points, assists, deflections, rebounding, any of those stats, if you put them on a graph and you went from the start of the season to the end of the season, they're going up, all of them. And I love when they look at each other as a tandem, as a pair. That's a start. You want 5 guys out there looking at each other that way, but it's a start. Those guys are roommates. They became very, very close during the recruiting process once they both committed. They both have a maturity about them that's beyond what, most freshmen have. But it also hasn't been easy for them, coming in here. They've both gone through different challenges, and I think the more they support each other, the better they'll be. But, man, when those guys realize that Adrian can really, really make Nigel better with the things that he brings and with putting energy into him, and NJ realizes the same thing, really full-time all the time, then we'll have something special. But they say the best thing about freshmen is they turn into sophomores. We need those guys to help us win now, and that's exactly what they did today.